From weekend getaways to extended road trips, California is full of places to explore. And for over 100 years, the Auto Club has been there to help. Our travel agents offer you expertise regarding destination information, trip planning and reservations, either in office, on the phone, or online. Across the state, throughout the country, or around the world. Through all life's travels, we're always with you.
Road Trip has been made possible by the Automobile Club of Southern California.
Well, hello everybody, I'm Huell, and on this spectacular fall afternoon, we've pulled off to the side of busy Interstate 5. We're at Vista Point, and we're pulled over here to get a shot at, there it is, off in the distance, snow-capped Mount Shasta. It's a beauty, 14,162 feet tall. Now, if you pull out your Automobile Club map and take a look at it, most people would agree that we are in the extreme northern part of California. But take another look, because we have come up here to visit an area that the locals have given another name to. They call it something else. And this huge area that includes Mount Shasta is filled with natural beauty, with history, and is populated by lots of people who definitely march to the beat of their own drum. We're excited. We're getting ready for a wonderful couple of days. We've come to the state of Jefferson on a road trip. First stop, the nice little town of Yreka, right off the 5 freeway, and you can tell a town takes its history seriously when you pull in, and there's the Texaco station, but look down there. They've created a little mining garden motif down there right in front of the service station, and then right over here, look at this beautiful sculpture that's been put up of the miner, and he's got his gold pan and his burro, and there's the name of the town up there in lights, so obviously this comes on at night. This is in tribute to the rich mining history of Yreka, and put up here by the Yreka JCs, so we know that this little town takes its history, its mining history, very seriously. Okay, our formal tour of Yreka begins. I'm standing here with
Jim Rock.
Jim, you are about as hardcore a historian as you can get, aren't you?
As an archaeologist, yes.
You know your history.
Oh, yes.
And you know your Yreka history, and this, I gotta tell you, I've only been here 5 minutes, but just driving through town, just coming into town, you get the idea right away that this is a town that cares about its history.
Oh, very much so. The Historical Society has been very active since at least the 1940s, and we've registered a number of the places downtown on the National Register of Historic Places, and we are still in the process of working on it.
Now, this was and is a gold town.
Oh, it certainly is a gold town. It was founded basically on gold.
And Miners Street itself is kind of a tribute to the mining community.
Oh, it certainly is. It's one of the last uncorrupted mining towns in California.
What do you mean uncorrupted? It hadn't gotten gentrified? There are not a lot of souvenir shops?
It's not souvenir shops, it's not t-shirts, and it's not just fudge factories. It's still real working businesses.
And now we're getting into the interesting part of the story. We're hitting the meat right now. We're standing here in front of the Siskiyou County Courthouse. We've been joined by
Bernita Tickner.
You know your history too, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, she does. And we're going to talk, because it's going to take at least 2 people to tell this part of the story, about the state of Jefferson. We are standing in the state of Jefferson, aren't we?
Well, you're standing in the place where the state of Jefferson really got formed and where the election was held in 1941. And it was here on the courthouse steps. Of course, it was a different courthouse at that time, but this is where the parade was. This is where the bears marched down the street. This is where the bands came through.
But wait a minute. We hadn't explained what the state of Jefferson was and why they had this big celebration.
The state of Jefferson was trying to form a group of counties in southern Oregon and northern California together as one entity, and going to secede from both California and from Oregon and form a new state.
Were they mad? Were they?
They were basically felt they had been double-crossed.
So the deal was the good citizens of 3 counties in southern Oregon and 3 counties in northern California decided, what did they do? Just declare their independence?
There were a number of counties in southern Oregon, a number of counties in California, some of which dropped out at various times, but were members of it, that said, we want to get out, we want to form our own state, and we want to be independent. They were very, very irritated at lack of support from both the state and federal governments.
And how serious was this secession movement?
Well, it started as kind of a joke, and then it got serious. And
how serious?
Well, they were stopping the cars, out here on 99 and handing them the proclamation and what they were going to do,
How serious did Sacramento take this? Did they really think that these counties up here in Northern California were going to secede?
I think that they thought that they were going to certainly try. The problem, of course, is you have to have both the legislature in California, the legislature in Oregon, and then you have to have the United States Congress all vote to allow you to form a new state.
So it was a long shot.
Oh, very long shot, but it was a shot.
So this kind of caught the attention of the locals.
Yes,
they got into it. People got excited about it.
Very definitely they got excited about it. And some are still excited about it. It's just very impractical.
He's excited.
He's still excited about it? Are you still excited about it?
Well, we're just going along with the flow.
Now, Bernita may be going with the flow. But this lady right here and your husband, introduce yourself to everybody.
I'm Frances Wacker.
And your husband was right in the middle of this secession movement, wasn't he?
He was. The 2030 Club started it.
Uh-huh. What was the 2030 Club?
They were all between 20 and 30.
And they all lived here?
Yep.
And they were all kind of hotheads?
Yeah, well, sort of. I wouldn't say all of them.
Well, what was the idea? They got together and started talking about this idea of secession.
Well, they didn't mean to be serious about it.
But it kind
It
of
was
grew.
all fun. And then
grew.
all these people came from everywhere.
Oh, yeah. What do you mean all these people came?
Oh, from Oregon, from down in California, and yep.
They got
serious.
Trinity County sent people up here too. Modoc was here briefly. Klamath County pulled out.
But this idea kind of caught on, kind of grew.
Well, yeah, it caught on. These people got serious.
And just how serious did they get?
Well, they had elected a governor.
Mm-hmm. They actually elected a governor?
Yes, from Oregon.
Oh, yeah.
For the state of Jefferson.
Yeah, for the
But
state
there never
of
was a state of Jefferson.
Well, but you see, there was going to be.
So December the 7th, 1941 came at a crucial time because it was right in here that the state of Jefferson that was really building momentum. Mm-hmm. And once war was declared, everybody let this idea drop.
It was right after Judge Childs had been elected. He celebrated that night. He was not in very good shape the next morning, and so he wasn't very active, but he did disband the state for the war effort.
Immediately.
Right.
Right.
So the state of Jefferson didn't last very
It died.
long. We're ending up with a bang. Bernita is holding the original double cross, which was the sign of the state of Jefferson. They figured everybody had been double-crossing them.
That's right.
The Oregon government had been double-crossing them.
The Wairika. California.
California had been get it straight now.
Let's get it right.
And this came out of the...
Siskiyou County Museum in Wairika.
So they allowed you to have this for the afternoon. You've got
Yes.
your white gloves on.
Right.
You don't want to be caught mishandling
No,
a piece of history
I
here.
want you to, want them to all see I have the gloves on.
And this was the original?
That's the original. It's one of a kind. There'll never be another one, and it's at the museum here in Wairika.
This is what was here that day that they declared their independence.
That's correct.
And
Bill McGinnis painted the sign.
it's beautiful. That was painted back in the 1941.
Yes.
And here is the flag that was made out of that. The Great Seal, State of Jefferson. 2 X's. I would just think they were 2 X's, but now double cross. They felt double crossed.
Right.
And so they put it right up on the flag, and this flag is still available. You can still buy these flags here in Wairika. So the spirit of the double cross is alive and well and being sold at stores.
Right.
We've come inside the Siskiyou County Courthouse. We got heavy security here. 3 members of the Sheriff's Department here, not only checking people going in and out of the courthouse, but they're guarding this display right over here, and boy, this deserves to be guarded, doesn't it? Introduce yourself to everybody.
My name is Wayne Hammer. I'm the Siskiyou County Treasurer Tax Collector.
Uh-oh. Treasurer and tax
That's
collector.
correct.
And you're the keeper of the gold, because I don't think in any other county in California does your position come with the obligation of guarding the county's gold collection.
That is true. I believe it's because we have the vault in our office as a treasurer, and these are under pretty heavy security and including 24-hour alarms, and so it comes under my title. What we're looking at here is, as I understand, the only real gold display left. These are actual gold nuggets and gold that was found in Siskiyou County and donated by Siskiyou County citizens.
So these are original pieces of gold found in Siskiyou County back in...
It ranges anywhere from probably the late 1800s all the way up until maybe the mid 1900s. There's also some things that were donated in the last 20 or 30 years by citizens.
Well, obviously they're still finding gold here, but gold is what put this place on the map originally back in the 1850s.
Yes, that is true. That is true. This display itself is estimated in a value of probably around $2 million.
You're kidding.
No,
right here in the lobby of the courthouse.
Right here in the lobby, but it is under security, both these gentlemen right here, and it's obviously under 24-hour alarm too.
Wow, and are these big pieces over here, are these actual nuggets?
They are actual nuggets.
Solid gold?
Solid gold.
This is exciting. Before we leave the courthouse, Wayne has opened up the... Boy, this is a heavy case. You take this case seriously, don't you?
We do. Each one of these panels of glass weighs over 150 pounds.
You've opened it up, and what's going to happen now, Wayne?
We were going to take out and show you the jewel of the case. This is an 8-pound piece of gold called the shoe.
Look at this, and it looks like a shoe.
And due to its specimen quality, and it's valued probably in this day and age at today's value, probably $65,000 to $70,000, that one piece.
Boy, this is heavy too. It's a lot heavier than I thought it would be.
It is amazing. When you feel gold, it does feel like lead. It has that kind of weight to it and density.
Now, fellas, you're right on top of the situation now. You know it's out of the case, right?
Yes, sir.
And it has to be back in the case before I leave, right?
You're not going anywhere until it is.
We do take our gold seriously.
Just check it. Just check it. There it goes, back in the case where it belongs. Take a good look at this. Now that's a piece of gold called the shoe. Morning of the second day of our road trip, and we were planning on leaving Wairika early this morning, hitting the road. But there's been a change in plans, because everywhere we went last night at dinner and all around town, all the locals said that before we left Wairika, we had to visit this famous artist and see his studio. So we've got the address. We showed up here early this morning, and at first I thought this was the studio, but look, down this little road, this little tree-lined lane, there's the studio down there, and it looks very interesting. And here's the artist himself. I presume you're the artist standing out here in front of this building.
I am.
Your name is?
Ralph Sterrett.
Okay, everybody in town said that we had to come by and meet you and see your studio.
That's scary.
Well, this is beautiful.
Thank you.
It has its own, how do I say, character, ambiance?
Yeah, 30 years of collecting junk, inventory. It's all good stuff if you use it right, I guess.
And you work primarily, from the way I'm seeing things, you work primarily with metal over here.
Yeah, and a lot, and wood and glass. I do many things.
Okay, now we've come back into the studio. The sparks are flying because Ralph is demonstrating for us. Well, actually, you're doing real work. You're not just doing this for the cameras. You're building something here.
We're working on it, yeah. We don't want to waste any time.
What are you doing here? You just...
this project here, the city has commissioned me to build another miner and a mule for up at Discovery Park, which is Thompson's Dry Diggings, and this is supposed to be Abraham Thompson. He's the guy who discovered gold in Wairika.
Here in Wairika?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, you said another miner and burrow.
Well, I have one down at the Central Interchange, and I've done...
In front of the Texaco station?
Yeah.
We stopped there yesterday.
Yeah.
That's your work?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Do you have stuff all over town?
Yeah, and all over every other little town around here.
Wow. That is amazing. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at the face here. It's got its own unique look to it, doesn't it? I mean, this is... How do you describe this? This is very interesting.
Well, you take little pieces and parts. It's like putting a piece of clay maybe into like that kind of a sculpture, but this is just doing it in metal.
Now we've left Ralph's studio. We've come a couple of miles out of town, and this gives us an opportunity for another look at Mount Shasta, which, Ralph, obviously this is the dominant geological feature in the state of Jefferson.
Oh yeah, I put it in everything that I do. I have wall hangings and sculpture things. It's just part of the country. You know, you can't deny it.
Do people here take it for granted, or do you realize what a beautiful thing this is and how, like you say, how powerful it is?
Oh, I'm sure people take it for granted who live and look at it every day, but then you can't deny it because it's right there in your face, and the most beautiful thing.
Well, it's big, and it's a symbol, and we're standing right here by Interstate 5 looking at another symbol, this hay barn over here, with the state of Jefferson on the top of it, so everybody driving up and down the interstate sees that sign.
That's, I don't know when they put that up, but many years ago. It looks pretty faded right now.
Do you think people know what people driving by, tourists, they wouldn't know what the state of Jefferson meant, would they?
No, they'd have to probably research that. It's got some history.
Oh, I know. We found that out yesterday. Yeah. But as nice as the old hay barn looks, we're here to take an up-close and personal look at that. Well, from a distance, it just looks like a speck out there in the field. But we're going to get up close to it and find out why it has truly become a symbol of the state of Jefferson right here on the side of the freeway. Okay, excitement is building. We have crossed over the interstate and we're heading toward one of Ralph's creations, which has literally become iconic here on the side of the interstate, hasn't it, Ralph?
It has. The cow is a focal point for all truckers on I-5 and many other things. A symbol for the state of Jefferson, a friend to all cowboys, whatever.
Now, how did you come up with the idea of a cow, a big cow like this one?
An old rancher, and we were working on a project, and he said, well, why don't we make a cow? And so that's what we did.
And this cow is complete with a bell around her neck. She's got a red nose.
Somebody painted her nose with a target on it. I don't know what that means.
And these udders down here.
That's a big old stainless steel udder and chrome exhaust pipe for teats. And that's how she ended up with that name, Mudana. The truckers saw that big old silver udder on there, and they associated that with Mudana.
With Madonna.
Mudana, yeah, Mudana, yeah.
They did a play on words from Madonna to Mudana. And how did Mudana become a symbol for the state of Jefferson? I've heard the locals say that she's become like a mascot or like a symbol of sorts.
I hear that too, but it just happened. That's what people do. They adopted her.
Yeah.
And everybody else has adopted her too, so.
And she's not clothed today. I've heard that during different times of the year,
Christmas, Thanksgiving, she gets a costume. Different people that help work on her, they get the costumes ready and put it on there, and everybody looks forward to that.
And I haven't seen it, but you told me that you have a picture of little calves.
Oh yeah, the cows get in here. There's some cows down there right now, and the calves will get around her. And I have this photograph somebody took and gave to me, and the cows are around. It has a caption on it. It says, "Are you sure they're not real?"
Little calves thinking.
Standing right here, yeah, they're
thinking this is a real cow.
I guess, I don't know.
And that's a real udder full of milk down there.
No, yeah, the cows can't think that far ahead.
All the people coming up and down the freeway look up here, and they look to one side, they see Mount Shasta. They look to the other, and they see
the old
Mudana,
cow, yeah.
The old cow. The symbol, the unofficial or the official mascot of the state of Jefferson. Well, we have left Wairika. We have left the cow. And we are on our way to the State of Jefferson Scenic Byway, which is over 100 miles long and cuts right through the heart of the state of Jefferson. But in order to get to the byway, we're traveling down Old Highway 99, which cuts through some spectacular countryside, right through the mountains. It really took something to build this highway, Old Highway 99, which gets us to the State of Jefferson Scenic Byway. So we're hitting the road and seeing some spectacular country along the way. And we didn't have to go very far. We spotted this old bridge right on the side of the highway, and the sign says it was erected in 1901. So this is an oldie but a goodie. And look down here, we're looking right down at the Klamath River and the mountains off in the distance. That's where we're heading, down toward Happy Camp. But look over here. We gotta take a look at this with the sun reflecting off the water and looking down at the mountains off in the distance. That's where we've come from already this morning. And this river follows our route almost all the way, almost 100 miles. So we're in for some beautiful scenery on our way to Happy Camp in the state of Jefferson. Well, we pulled over, and while we were getting unloaded from the car, you came right over and introduced yourself to us. Your name again is?
Regina Chicazola. I'm the Klamath River Keeper.
What, did you just see us here on the side of the road?
Yeah, I'm going down the river doing one of my patrols, trying to see what's going on with the river and how the flows are going.
And you wondered what we were doing with our cameras.
And I was wondering what a camera was doing on the side of the road here at the Shasta River.
Wow. Wait a minute. Is this the Shasta River or the Klamath River?
Well, this is the Klamath River, but that's the Shasta River coming in right there.
I gotcha.
It looks like a little creek because it's almost dewatered, but it is actually one of our bigger rivers here in the Klamath.
What does the river keeper do? I've never heard of a title like that?
Oh, well, the river keeper's job is to protect water quality and try to make sure that waterways are both swimmable and fishable, which is the goal of the Clean Water Act. So my job is to try to make sure that this river is not full of toxins and that there's plenty of salmon in it for everyone to use.
It's a beautiful looking river today, glistening in the morning sun. Now, does this river follow us? Are we going to be seeing this river all the way down the scenic byway today?
Yeah, you'll get off of it and then onto the Trinity River in about maybe a little over 100 miles here.
Oh, we're just going to go about 100 miles.
Okay.
We're going to Happy Camp.
Oh, you're going to Happy Camp.
Yeah.
All right, so you'll be where a lot of the creeks come in. Some of our nicest creeks come in Happy Camp, so you'll love it.
This area is proud of its water, is proud of its rivers.
Yeah, definitely, and we're definitely having some struggles to try to keep it as nice as possible. I mean, right now we have the highest levels of toxic algae in this river that have ever been recorded in the world.
That's not good.
And so that's not good, and that's one of our main focuses.
Where is that coming from?
It's coming from the upriver dams, which we're trying to get removed right now. And we're hoping that by removing those dams, we'll take care of the toxic algae problem, and we'll make sure that the salmon start restoring themselves, because then they'll be able to get upriver again.
See, this is why public education is so important, because for me, just driving by this river and looking at it, it doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it at all. It looks absolutely beautiful.
Well, wait until you see the creeks that come in Happy Camp, because like Clear Creek and Indian Creek and some Elk Creek, crystal clear, the most crystal clear, beautiful creeks you'll ever see.
Really?
So that's what the Klamath River should be looking like too. It's not naturally quite so green. That's more from the pollution in the river. But however, we do have the most beautiful tributaries in the world here on the Klamath River.
All right, so at least we can see the glass half full instead of half empty.
Yep, and we'll get those dams down and we'll restore this river for sure.
Okay, we're back on the Jefferson Scenic Byway after having met Regina quite by accident. I'm not sure what's ahead. What we're going to do now is just drive down the road. This is Highway 96 until we see something that catches our eye and we pull over and check it out. This is a real adventure. We don't know what's ahead, but when we see something, we're going to pull over. Now we've pulled into the very small little community of Klamath River right here on the side of the Jefferson Scenic Byway. There's the Klamath River Service. Not much going on over there, but right over here is a place called Quigley's Store and Deli. There's some vehicles parked outside, so this must be the place to go in to get some lunch. We're inside Quigley's. Sign says it's been here since 1924, and you talk about a strange and wonderful story. There they are right there. Introduce yourself to everybody.
Dwayne Calmont.
Nice to meet you.
Rebecca Keller-Talling.
Nice to meet you.
Richard Tarling.
Nice to meet you. Now this is an amazing story. Where are you from?
Originally I'm from Taupo, New Zealand.
New Zealand?
Originally.
You're from New Zealand?
Yep, Cambridge, New Zealand, centre of the North Island.
And you moved from New Zealand to?
Orange County to start with.
Orange County, California. That's where you met?
Rebecca.
You met him in Orange County.
That's right.
And you told me where you met him.
At a bar.
At a bar in Orange County. And how did you get from a bar in Orange County to up here in the extreme northern part of California in the state of Jefferson?
Well, when I was, courting her and that, I had the idea of getting out of Orange County originally. So we were doing a bit of racing up in Auburn, California, and then it was just kind of like a natural progression, really, to, we're looking for the mountains and the hills. And that's where we wanted to go.
Kind of get away from it all.
Yep.
Exactly.
No traffic, no congestion.
Start over and less stress.
Well, what is it like up here to run a store and a deli? You bought into a lot of history when you bought this place.
Yeah, a lot of hard work is what it is. And I guess I kind of liked it because of the stories of Moon Quigley being an old whiskey runner and stuff, and he's the one that built this place.
You're not still running whiskey.
No, not yet.
Oh.
Just kidding.
You want to say anything about the state of Jefferson?
Well, it's a state of mind, and that's what we're, independent people.
Independent.
And we're all for it. We're all for the state of Jefferson. We're going to secede.
We want to reenact.
You want to secede?
Damn right we do.
Get out of the state of California.
Get out of the state of California.
We already are out of the state of California.
Well,
for a lot of people.
You know, there's a whole lot of people that think Northern California is San Francisco. They just never look at the map and find out it's actually Central California.
Yeah.
This is Northern California.
Undiscovered country.
Undiscovered country. We're going to put this on the air and invite thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands.
We don't want them.
That's just great.
We don't want them.
You know about the flag.
You don't want anybody?
Take his camera. Take his camera away. We don't want any publicity. We're too happy up here. We don't need
We
any
don't
more
want
people.
anybody to come.
You don't want condos. You don't want development.
No.
You don't want mini malls. You don't want.
Exactly. We don't
They
even
can
want
mail us
publicity.
their money.
Just send us a check.
What's the matter with you all? Are you against progress?
Yes, absolutely.
Things just keep getting more and more interesting on this road trip because now we've come a little over 20 miles down the road from Quigley's store, and at a certain mile marker on the road, we were told to stop and get off and walk down this little dirt road here, sand road, to hook up with Dave McCracken, and I assume that's who you are.
That's who I am.
All right, we are right here on the Klamath River. There's all kind of activity going on back here. We're here because we've heard so much about the fact that there's still a lot of gold in this country, and I guess in this river, the water itself.
The river's full of gold, literally full of gold.
We're here to see what your operation is all about. Tell us what we're getting ready to see.
Well, there's me and about 20 other guys have teamed up for a week, and we've brought several dredges out here. A couple days ago, we did a sample out here and made a strike in what we call high-grade gold. We're pulling it out by the handful.
Lots of gold right here.
Right here, yeah.
How do you know where to look for it?
Well, we've been on the river long enough to where we have an idea where it is.
You've been doing this for a number of years out here.
25 years.
And what is this called? What are we looking at right here? Are we going to be able to get out there in the water and see it up close?
Sure. That's a 5-inch suction dredge. Brett, why don't you hold that up? It's really an underwater vacuum cleaner. We suck the bottom gravel up through that nozzle. It goes up through the hose, and then there's a recovery system there floating on the surface.
Right down here.
And that's where we recover the gold.
So you're just sucking the gravel up off the bottom of the river.
Right.
And checking it out to see how much gold is actually in there.
The gold's really heavy, so as the gravel and material passes through that recovery system, the gold drops out, the gravel drops off and fills our hole back in.
Now, who are all these people? Are these people who've signed up from all over California to come up here and strike it rich?
All over California, all over the world.
Okay, here comes one of your prospectors. Howdy. Can I talk to you for a minute?
Oh boy.
Your name is?
David Doyle.
From?
Ontario, California.
From California?
Yep.
Oh, I thought this group was from Germany and Panama.
All over the place.
Wow. So what are you doing up here? You coming up here to get rich?
Just coming from vacation, get away from work and all the hassles of life.
And look for gold.
And look for gold.
Now, have you done this before?
Once about 10 years ago.
Really?
Yes.
Why have you waited so long to come by?
I've been busy owning my own business.
Yeah. So now you're just coming up here to hang out, and what do? Are you going down there with the vacuum and?
Yeah, it's a big suction dredge. We have a 5-inch nozzle, so anything smaller than 5-inch goes up there. All the heavy stuff stays in the box.
And he said that you stay down there. Dave said you stay down there for up to 3 hours.
Yeah.
Well, that's not very exciting, is it?
Sure, when you see the gold coming out the bottom, it is.
Can you actually see gold down there?
In this murky water, you got to get pretty close, but yeah, you can.
And have you found any gold? Are you rich yet?
We're very rich in the fact that we're able to do this.
Yeah.
And yes, we've found a lot of gold.
So it's as much the experience as anything else, isn't it?
Yes, it's very much an adventure.
Just being out here and look at this beautiful scenery and the setting. It couldn't be any better than this.
Nope, camping out here at night, seeing the deer come over to the river and drink water, and it doesn't get any better than this.
All right, here's the proof. Dave what is it you're doing, Dave?
I'm swirling around the gold that we got yesterday. This is the gold we dredged up yesterday. Check that out.
Woo! So you all got this much gold.
Nice little nuggets. Look at the nice nuggets.
Look, wait a minute.
That came right out of here.
That came right out of here. Here, hold that in your hand, that big one.
Over the pan.
Oh my God, yeah, over the pan.
Beautiful?
Oh, look at this.
That's in quartz.
Look at the rose color. Isn't that gorgeous?
Oh, that is beautiful.
Where's our other biggie one?
And look at all these little specks.
A lot of gold.
So how much money are we talking about here?
Well, maybe about $900 yesterday.
Really?
We're just getting started. It'll get a lot better than that.
But you got to split it up.
Oh, hey, it's the fun. It's the fun. It's being out here in nature.
Yeah, talk about nature all you want to, but what's the real payoff?
The gold.
The gold. Leaving the gold behind, next stop was the nice little community of Happy Camp. Driving into town, we didn't have much time to look around because we had an appointment to keep at one of the community's most important places. A big part of the landscape here in this part of California, here in Happy Camp, is the landscape that is provided by the Native American peoples who have lived here for thousands of years. I'm standing here with Alvis Johnson, who is an elder. You're one of the former
tribal chairman
of the whole tribe.
Right.
And the name of this tribe, I want to pronounce it correctly.
Okay, it's a Karuk tribe.
Karuk tribe.
Karuk tribe, yeah.
And are there hundreds of members of this tribe here, or thousands, or?
Just a few hundred.
Few hundred living in this area.
Living in this area.
And they've been here for?
Centuries.
Ever.
Right.
All right, now one of the things that your tribe has done, you have built, and it's open to the public, the People's Center. And what was the idea behind this?
Basically, we had to call it that. It was basically try to get a museum, bring artifacts back, and we have all cultural basket weaving and different things going on in there.
Classes going on.
Classes going on here, yes.
Well, it says Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 6, public welcome, so we're here.
All right.
Can we go inside?
You sure can.
Let's go inside the People's Center and see what's going on. It's a beautiful building, too, made out of the natural wood, which is part of the design, I'm sure.
Yes, it is.
I love the architecture in this room. This is an absolutely beautiful museum. We've got the dugout canoe right here, which I guess signifies that your tribe traditionally has been connected with
the river.
With the Klamath River.
Right. That's our dip net. We use that Ishipishi Falls.
And you catch the fish in the net.
Right.
All right, so you've got a lot of it, and we've got wonderful pictures. Look at this. There's the net right there.
Right.
So you just put that right in the falls themselves.
Right.
And catch the fish right out of the water.
Right.
Wow, that looks action-oriented. All right, you've got a little bit of everything in here. Come on around here. Obviously, when you look at these cases, they are filled with these beautiful, beautiful baskets which date back,
gosh, history.
Long time ago. These are the real things.
Right.
And outside the case, here are the real things over here too. You want me to meet these two ladies?
Right on.
All right. Come on, ladies. You're standing over by the case, you're standing over by the baskets, and your reputations precede you as two of the best basket weavers, basket makers anywhere in this part of California.
Thank you.
Now you're being so modest. How hard is it to make these baskets? We're looking at some old ones right now, aren't we?
These here were my grandmother's. They're really old. This here's like a hopper that you grind your acorns.
And look at this. Look how
that's a cooking basket.
Finely woven that is. Very tightly woven.
It's made out of pine root and hazel sticks and bear grass.
Now we have come over to this case, which is filled with a very interesting part of the story of basket weaving I knew nothing about.
Okay, we have our materials that we use. These are hazel as our foundation. The willow is our foundation. They have spruce roots. That's what the cooking baskets are made of. The bullpine roots is another plant that we use for our cooking baskets.
Now, are these still found out in the wild up in this part of California?
Yes, that's the only way we can make baskets is by gathering our materials.
The adventure continues, because if you'll remember earlier on in this road trip, we ran upon that young woman by the name of Regina from Riverkeeper on the side of the Klamath River, and she was talking with us about how clear some of the creeks are that run into Klamath River. Specifically, she was talking about Clear Creek itself. And I happened to have this conversation with you a little earlier today at the People's Center.
Right.
And what did you tell me?
I'd take you down to the Clear Creek where we go swimming and we
hang out.
Yeah.
So here we are. Oh boy, I'm stuck in the stickers here too, but look over here. There is Clear Creek, and boy, that is what you call clear water. And Verna, tell everybody what you told me when we were walking down here. You want to jump in there, don't you?
Oh yeah, that's our swimming hole. It's usually packed by now, but school's in, so we don't have no swimmers.
So traditionally, this has been the local swimming hole.
Yeah.
Do you figure that Native Americans might have been swimming down here centuries, thousands of years ago?
Oh, I'm sure that it has. We have ceremonial dances down by the mouth of the Clear Creek.
Where it goes into the Klamath River.
Right.
Well, I'm sorry that I don't have my swim trunks, and if you weren't here, I might just strip down and go in.
Go ahead.
Does that happen from time to time?
Oh, yes. Yes, I've been known to strip off and jump in.
All natural. And there it is right there. Look at that water. Boy, it looks cool. Is it deep? Is that over your head?
Oh, yes. Yeah, this rock right here on the right hand of us, that hole there, the kids jump off the bridge.
Oh, they jump off the bridge?
Into that hole.
Into that water hole. Oh, my gosh. Wow, this is beautiful. Well, and look at the setting over here with all of the trees up over the side of the hill here, looking down onto the water hole. This is about as perfect a water hole as you can find anywhere in California. The Native Americans have been using it for generations, and it's still being used today. I couldn't resist rolling up my pants legs and getting out here and seeing for myself just how good this water feels. And I gotta tell you, it feels as good as it looks. It is cool, it is clean, it is clear, it is absolutely wonderful. This is what wading in the creek is supposed to be like. This takes me back to my days growing up as a kid in Tennessee. And boy, this is, uh-oh, I'm getting in the deep water right now. My pants are getting wet. But boy, this is the real thing. This is, I think, the high point of our trip so far, wading in Clear Creek. Well, after a long day and covering a lot of territory here in the state of Jefferson, look where we are staying tonight, right outside Happy Camp. This looks like a postcard right here. Here is our host. Introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi, I'm James Buckner, the owner of the Klamath River Resort Inn.
The Klamath River Resort Inn. It's an absolutely spectacular setting. Let's walk down here for the river, because you can't get any closer to the river than we are right now. And what an absolutely spectacular setting here. Tell us the history of the inn and why we should be so excited about staying here tonight.
The inn was built in 1949. It's a historic fishing lodge. Recently, we've added self-guided kayak trips. The reason why it was built right here is the mountains behind us, and the river has to go all the way around it. The highway goes over it. So it gives you a wilderness type experience on the river. So back in the 40s and the 50s, it was a prime steelhead fishing to float this section here. So now we've added the kayak trips, which are just spectacular because the whole river's nice, but this section especially because there is no highway access and you're out there by yourself.
Look at these trees. These go back, don't they?
They do, and I think that's why they built the lodge here. At least 150 years ago, those trees were set here.
So they built the lodge because of the trees.
I think so, exactly.
Wow, what a great setting. You don't have that many rooms here.
We don't. We only have 6 standard rooms and a large 2-bedroom suite, which is actually in tribute to Herbert Hoover, who were in this area quite often during the 50s.
Really?
Really. And
well, he liked to fish, didn't he?
He was a fly fisherman. He had a lodge that he built himself downriver off of one of the tributaries of the Klamath on the Salmon River.
Wow.
On a place called
So
Woolly
your
Creek.
suite is called the Herbert Hoover Suite.
The Herbert Hoover Presidential Suite.
Well, we were getting ready to shut off the camera and another chapter developed in this story, James. You introduced me to Ignacio, who is your manager here.
Correct. Him and his wife are the managers.
And all your kids are here out in the river. What's this all about, Ignacio?
Well, this is to come and fishing, enjoying the day with the family reunion and taking time.
So they all come out here and fish?
Yes, that's true, and come and get salmon or steelhead.
Okay, now it's a little early right now, so they're just practicing, right, James?
Right, after school typically they'll come down here and throw out some lines, kind of just practicing wet line, and hopefully in a couple of weeks salmon will arrive and they'll start getting lucky.
So this place started off as a fishing camp, and it's still a fishing camp. I know rafting's your big business, but fishing is right in there.
It is. We'll start seeing fishermen come. In fact, I think we've got our first set of fishermen coming next weekend. They might drive down the river a little bit, but they typically stay here. And if they're really lucky, then the fish will be running right here.
So at the right time, Ignacio, there's a lot of fish. Your family can have fresh fish every night.
That's correct. Especially 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you can see the fish jumping around.
Right out here?
Right here in front in the motel.
Well, after a wonderful night's sleep at the Klamath River Resort Inn, I slept like a log. We are up bright and early this morning for a tour of downtown Happy Camp, because yesterday we didn't have time to stop and look around very much, so we're up bright and early. In fact, we are up so early, I think we're the only people up in downtown Happy Camp, except for this lady right over here, because the Happy Camp Chamber of Commerce never sleeps. And she is here. Introduce yourself to everybody.
My name is Rita Manley.
Okay, you're representing the town of Happy Camp with us today, and I got to tell you, I have always wanted to visit Happy Camp.
Well, Happy Camp's a hoot. And you know, before there was Vegas, where, you know, they said that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. There was Happy Camp. And Happy Camp right behind us here used to have the longest bar in the state of California. But as part of an Happy Camp redevelopment plan, when they ran out of money and the mills closed, well, they set that bar on fire, and now we got a great big park right here.
So wait a minute. The longest bar in the state of California was located right here.
It was a block long.
Was this a wild and woolly town? What kind of a town was this? Was this a lumber town, a mining town, a fishing town? What was it?
Yes. Absolutely. It was all of that. And people came here from all over to let their hair down and recreate. And, you know, Happy Camp is where you come when you want to make your dreams come true. And people are good here. They're honest people, they're hardworking, and they're lots of fun. But we've got a real wild group. We're very independent. You're right in the heart of the state of Jefferson.
Oh boy, I know that.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about.
Now, you said Happy Camp was going through a resurgence.
Absolutely. Happy Camp has got new money moving into it. There's a lot of baby boomers that are coming here, and they're trying to make their dreams come true. Little businesses are starting up, and the gold rush is on.
The new gold rush.
The new gold rush is on.
Well, we went looking for gold yesterday out in the river, so the old gold rush is still going on too. They're still finding a lot of gold around here.
And that's a lot of fun. They're having a lot of fun out there.
And isn't that a big part of the economy here too?
Good sized chunk.
All right, now look over here. This looks old.
This is very old. This building is probably one of the oldest buildings in western Siskiyou County. And right now, the owner, who's just purchased this last year, and they've remodeled and brought in new merchandise.
Right over here.
Absolutely, because we're starting to do a lot more construction, is going to put a movie theater down here.
Ah,
yeah.
So a new movie theater is going in the old J Camp merchandise drugs store.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a beautiful location for your little town, right here amongst all the trees and the mountains and the hills here, and we're walking right over to the Klamath Knott Arts Council building.
Yes, this is brand new. This is an art group that we have here in town. Arts are really a big part of our community here in town. And we call them the Knotheads. They got big plans. They're opening up an art gallery. They've got lots of programs. It rains here a lot during the winter, and so that gives people a lot of time to really develop their art. It really does, absolutely. And we've got some awesome artists. Now, this used to be the old post office. And this little post, this is where all the mail came from, and this building is super old. And then right next to it, these have just been purchased recently by some people in town, and they're coming in and they're going to renovate this. We've got a lot of construction and a lot of renovation starting to happen here in town.
So there's a lot of potential.
Oh, gosh,
in Happy
yes.
Camp. Look, there's the Happy Camp cat right up there looking at us here.
At least one. And as a parting gift, you can take that cat home with you today.
We're standing in front of a fire hydrant that's been painted to look like a little bear.
And if you'll notice on the top of the fire hydrant, this is a Karuk pattern of little hats that the Karuk people wear in the wintertime.
So you're painting your fire hydrants, you're planting, and we're standing in the middle of...
This is a brand new town beautification project. We planted trees all along the front of Perry's Market here. And we've got big doings across the street. This old truck is going to have another Bigfoot in it. And hopefully we'll get the money together and the Bigfoot will be waving, because this is Bigfoot country. And we've got the Bigfoot RV park right across the street.
The Bigfoot RV park. All right, this brings up the whole subject of Bigfoot. We haven't talked about it much until now, but we are in the heart. Happy Camp is in the heart of Bigfoot country. Bigfoot Towing. And here right in front of Bigfoot Towing, I assume you're the owner of this establishment.
Yeah.
Your name is?
Wayne Scott.
Now, is Bigfoot Towing, how big is Bigfoot around these parts?
It started years and years ago. Loggers, you know, and the Indians, local Indians had the superstition of Bigfoot, and a lot of them believe in it, and some of them don't, you know.
What about you?
I've never seen any physical evidence.
Well, you named your company Bigfoot, so there's got to be something going on here.
It's tradition from Willow Creek, Orleans, Happy Camp, up through this area is all, you know, a lot of Bigfoot representative.
Bigfoot country up here.
Country, yeah, that's correct.
Now, is this a good, what you're doing, what are you doing here? This is a...
Well, we have AAA towing and towing emergency road service, and
but
then
you're selling things out here.
I do lawnmower and chainsaw repair.
And what are these up here?
Those are just kind of a statue of bears. We have a lot of bears in the area.
So
I've counted 34 at one time.
Wait a minute.
No, it's at the Happy Camp landfill years ago before they changed it into a container unit.
34 bears.
Yep.
So you've seen the bears, but you've never seen Bigfoot.
That's correct.
Well, I see Bigfoot.
Well, my foot isn't that big.
No, right over here, look.
Oh, yeah.
There's Bigfoot right over there.
Yeah, and we're going to have Mrs. Bigfoot and a little one on this corner here probably next year.
Now we're up close to Bigfoot. And Rita, this was a community project here, right here on the main drag, Highway 96, the State of Jefferson Scenic Byway. You can't miss this thing.
Absolutely. You know, Happy Campers are a real get-her-done group, and so Cheryl Wainwright came up with the idea years ago, and they put it together with their own money and scrap metal, and everyone volunteered, and they created this piece of art here right on the corner.
Wow, you can't miss it, can you?
No, there's people every day stop and take their photos in front of Bigfoot.
They know that's Bigfoot.
Oh, yes.
And you're going to have Mrs. Bigfoot over across in front of your place.
That's correct.
And you're going to have another Bigfoot down here in that old truck.
He'll be waving.
Waving.
Yep, saying hello, how are you?
So this whole place is going to be taken over by Bigfoot.
Well, you can see him all the time. All you got to do is go out in the woods.
No, this guy's been looking for, he's never seen him. That's all well, maybe he is out there. He's certainly standing right here. And you know, we've been traveling around looking for the mythical state of Jefferson, which originally, when it was proposed, was going to include 4 counties in southern Oregon and 3 counties in northern California. But it just dawned on me looking at the map this morning, we've only visited 1 county, Siskiyou County, on this whole adventure we've been on.
It's huge. It's the 3rd largest county in the state of California.
Land-wise.
Land-wise, right. Population-wise, we've got 47,000 people approximately and 85,000 bears.
But let's talk about the state of Jefferson. Does everybody here buy into that whole state of Jefferson thing?
Oh, absolutely. It's a state of mind. We're very independent. We are real independent people, and we're freedom-loving people.
You buy into that?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
State of Jefferson,
Yeah.
State of Jefferson.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely part of our culture. That's what draws people here to Happy Camp. The people, the friendliness, the independence, and the sense of freedom that you have living in this place, because it's gorgeous and you're free when you live here.
You know, I think that's what we've picked up the most on this road trip. Even though we only went to 1 county, Siskiyou County, we have discovered that even though the state of Jefferson does not literally exist on a map, it certainly exists in the spirit of the people who live here. This has been an absolutely wonderful, we've had a great time, seen a lot of beautiful country, and more importantly, met a lot of very nice people. I hope you've had as much fun as we've had on this road trip to the state of Jefferson. Well, I sure hope you enjoyed our visit to the state of Jefferson. And if you'd like to go on this adventure again or share it with your family and friends, it's available on video cassette and on DVD. All you have to do is call 1-800-266-5727, and we'll be glad to send it to you right away.
Road Trip with Huell has been made possible by the Automobile Club of Southern California.
Wherever you're headed on your next road trip, the Auto Club knows the territory. For travel tips or comprehensive destination information, as well as booking your next family vacation, our website is a great first stop on any journey, no matter how far away your destination may be. Through all life's travels, we're always with you.